So, I've been criticizing mass appealing perfumes for a long time, but recently something happened and I got the hype around them, and some of them are even appealing to me. So more of that in this video, and also how I want to change my perfume collection. So everyone, you probably remember how I was against mass appealing perfumes, and I always used to say that we should go for something more creative and interesting smelling, so we won't smell like everyone else. We need to stand out and smell maybe a little bit crazy, and although I like my very unusual and unique perfumes, recently I started to enjoy designer fragrances. And that's not a joke. So I went to the store, and I guess that happened with Prada Candy perfumes. I've never been the biggest fan of that line, but as I sprayed one on myself, I was like, not bad. So I went for another one and ended up having all the fragrances from the Candy collection on myself, and I kind of dig that. So I decided to try even more designer perfumes, because normally when I go to the store I just smell something that's new so I can review it for you guys and just check out, full of hopes that this is gonna be something different smelling, because I loved creative perfumes, and then that ended up being a very commercial release, and I was like, that's so bad. All the brands, what are they doing? Why they are releasing familiar and repetitive fragrances over and over again? But I found quite a few very pleasant perfumes, and that didn't happen to me in a while. I'll tell you more. Yesterday, I liked Joy by Dior. Remember that one that I used to hate and criticize when it came out? So I don't know if that's just my nose or my senses that are changing. I have no idea, but I can tell you that I'm a bit more into mass appealing perfumes at the moment. Obviously not all of them appeal to me, but some of them do. And so I decided to go for a bit more, not commercial, but just a bit more easygoing and easy to understand perfumes, and also easy to enjoy, because the majority of fragrances from my collection, they are very, very special, and this is a gorgeous collection without questions. Okay, this is a bit more of a commercial fragrance corner here, but then we have Sarah Baker, so I have a real nice mix of very exotic fragrances from around the world, and I also have this collection of travel sprays, and it grows and grows, and obviously there are more perfumes in my studio. But what I decided to do this year is to buy something that is very, very pleasant to wear, because that is another thing. Sometimes when I wear my crazy perfumes, I like them, but people don't necessarily comment a lot on them. And as I started to wear something a bit, light and easy, they started to notice those fragrances. So I was just like, I enjoy them, people enjoy them, so why not to wear something that smells very pleasant to others too? Of course, that doesn't mean that I'll be wearing only commercial fragrances from now on, but I actually plan to buy a bit more of exclusive fragrances from designer brands, those ones from their private collections, like some Tom Ford perfumes and Maison Lancome's ones, and Jo Malone and stuff like that. And because of the quarantine and everything, I wasn't working for a while, and then all the views went down, so I didn't earn much from YouTube at all. But if that starts to normalize, I will definitely invest into some accessible fragrances that are easier to find in the store than some maybe niche perfumes that I review, and also niche ones. Like, let's say there are some niche brands that are mass appealing, they smell very, very good, but at the same time not necessarily as commercial as designer fragrances. And just to name a few brands that will be Shirley Killian, which I actually like a lot, and a few others. Maybe you can actually recommend me something. I'd be very grateful for that. Yeah, right now I'm definitely open for those popular fragrances in the community that people are talking about, because there is something about them, you know, you wear them and maybe you don't necessarily smell one of a kind, but you smell really, really good and pleasant, and that is actually what I'm going for at this point. And that is kinda where people start, and then they go way up to something creative and unusual smelling. And I started with unusual, very creative, very different smelling perfumes. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like when you go for some super crazy indie brands that use all the cool ingredients and pretty unusual notes. That is what I loved and have been loving, and actually kind of promoting, or I don't know even how to say, like really hyping up on my channel. And at this point I want something easier, because you know what I realized? Let's go to the studio and I will tell you what happened that kinda made me think about this change. There are, by the way, the boxes of the perfumes, and here is my studio, and you can tell, like, I have perfumes that some of you might not even heard about, and maybe you did, but you can't really smell them easily, let's say in your local stores or boutiques, because this is the collection of amazing perfumes from around the world, and some of them are very pleasant and easy to understand. This is my award that I'm very proud of, that we won with Sven. And here are more perfumes. I have very different ones, and I'll definitely make a collection video for you for sure. But the thing is, you guys, I'm in the mood for something that will be really easy to enjoy. And I noticed there are some good perfumes from designer and niche brands that smell, I don't know, like you wear them and they are very pleasant. Maybe they're not overly crazy, you know, but there is just something very enjoyable about them. And you can also find such fragrances in collection of indie brands, you know, that I'm very passionate about. But maybe my taste just changed a bit, so I started to like those a bit more mass appealing perfumes, and I'm kind of glad about that, because right now I can talk positively about such fragrances, which I definitely didn't in the past. So maybe you're excited for that too. Let me know. And if there are some fragrances that you find very enjoyable, but at the same time, you know, not overly mass appealing and just like too simple, because I still want kind of like a hint of mystery and my perfume to be special, you know. So if you can recommend me something, that will be amazing. Maybe you think, oh Yana, you need to check that one out and maybe review it for everyone, just let me know and I will surely do it. And to complete this video, I wanted by showing you a perfume layering combination that I'll be wearing today. By the way, these are some of my DSH perfumes. You saw some of them in my room, and here are even more. And I'm looking for Blue Daisy, the fragrance that I not necessarily liked at first sniff, but I wore it. Here it is. By the way, Dawn's fragrances smell very good, but like these bottles are way too simple, and these sprayers are not good at all. But yeah, she ships around the world, and those fragrances that go overseas have kind of like an oily texture, and this is a very tropical, exotic, tart, citrusy, slightly floral fragrance that is very summery and sunny. So I'll spray a little bit of that on my hair just because I don't want to apply oil on my clothes. And I find that this is like, wow, it's so hard to define this perfume because the citrusy and the fruity part, it's like, it is so realistic. It is really ripe and tart, citrusy, very sour, but at the same time extremely sweet. It's very, very delicious and happy, sunny, summery citrus fragrance, but I will layer it with something that will definitely make it more fresh, and that is actually in my room, so we need to go there again. And here it is. It is the Perfect Nectar by Sarah Horowitz Perfumes, which is also a citrusy tropical fragrance, but it is way more fresh. Almost like shower jelly. It's like a tropical fruity salad, literally. It's so good. And this is an alcohol-based fragrance, so right now I have the ultimate tropical fragrances on myself. And since I'll spend this day outside and at the family dinner, I want to smell mass appealing and very pleasant, happy. I want to satisfy everybody, but in this very, very Yana manner. I don't know how to call it, but you know, I want people to go like, oh, wow, you smell amazing. What is it? You know, I want people to feel something special when they are near me. So yeah, I was feeling like tropical holiday because I miss holidays and those fragrances give me massive holiday vibes. But yeah, I want to change my collection a little bit. I wanted to include some very, very pleasant, mass appealing perfumes. This is how I call them. Maybe you have a better term for that, how we can call those fragrances, because I don't want perfumes that would be like Le Male, 1 Million, what's popular for the ladies, La Vie Belle, Alien. No, not such fragrances, but at the same time, like I was telling you, the Candy line by Prada, it is fantastic and a little bit underrated. It was even underrated by me. So I liked that that change happened in my nose, that I started to enjoy fragrances that, you know, other people go crazy about too. And so yeah, I guess that is all for today's video. It was pretty long and chatty, but I'm a little bit bored of just sitting in my studio and talking about perfumes really in depth, although I'll be doing that for sure, but I just want to mix up my content a little bit and just be more fun. So if you have any fun ideas, maybe some crazy ones, I'm open for them. Anything what you can suggest, I'll consider doing it. So go ahead, share your comments and of course ideas for future videos and maybe some mass appealing but at the same time special fragrances that you think I might enjoy. On that note, thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, follow me on my social media and check me out on my second channel in Russian. If you could subscribe to it too, I would definitely highly appreciate that. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop me a comment. I would be really glad to chat with you, and I wish you all an amazing week. Stay tuned for future videos. They are gonna be really good. I'll inform you about some new niche perfume launches, and we'll do a really fun live stream by the end of the week. And if you have any topic that we can discuss in the live stream, drop it down below too. And that's all from me today. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one really soon. Stay safe and healthy. Bye everyone.